Hey everybody, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and this is my detailed review and install of AWE's Touring Catback Exhaust System featuring their chrome tips, available for your 2015 and newer Mustang GT. Now this system will get a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter from me for the installation, but we will have more detail on that later on. The touring system from AWE should appeal to the S550 GT owners out there looking to grab one of the only catbacks in the premium category that will deliver that H-pipe configuration, making it a great choice for owners who prefer that deeper tone overall compared to the higher pitch tone or raspiness of an X-pipe that tends to dominate the category. Now, in addition to that, prospective buyers can look forward to an absolutely top-notch quality build, materials, and fitment here, in addition to AWE's patented technology, their 180 tech, eliminating any in-car drone. But most importantly, the AWE Touring, I think, will be for the owners out there who want a system that will deliver plenty of bark despite this thing being AWE's milder of the two options, their other system being the Track Edition Catback, which obviously will be a little bit more aggressive. But let's not waste any more time, let's get right into my tried and true Wake the Neighbor scale, where I have the Touring system coming in at a robust 3 out of 5 on my 1 to 5 or 1 to Wake the Neighbor scale. Now honestly, I went back and forth between a 3 and a 4, and I think both would have applied perfectly for this system. Ultimately, I did land on that 3 though, again, a strong 3 at that. Now guys, don't be fooled by that Touring name because this system will be delivering plenty of volume. And on top of this thing being pretty aggressive overall, I personally really dig the tone of the AWE Touring. It's a deep tone, nice and smooth, and maybe I'm a little biased because I do have an H-pipe on my personal Coyote, but personally, I just prefer that deep thumping tone of the H-pipe as opposed to that high-pitched, almost exotic tone of an X-pipe. Maybe you guys don't agree with me, maybe I'm just getting a little old, but ultimately, it doesn't really matter. It's entirely up to you guys as it is your car and your money. I do want to say though that if you do prefer those higher pitched tones, there will be other systems on the site that do incorporate some kind of X-pipe. We'll deliver a little bit more of that exotic tone. Corsa is a great option, for instance, and of course you can check those out here on the site. Inside the car, however, things are a completely different story, thanks largely in part to that 180 technology that we told you guys about a little bit earlier, AWE's way of kind of canceling out this drone. How did they do this? Well, if you were to open up this AWE Touring resonator, you'd find a bunch of ports, and using this method, they're able to locate and kind of cancel out these unwanted frequencies, better known to you guys as drone. And I'm happy to report when cruising around with the Touring system, things are very quiet inside the car. But let's touch on the construction a little bit more here at the AWE system because personally, I feel like it is one of the strong suits when talking about the brand. And listen guys, I know a lot of Mustang owners probably aren't terribly familiar with AWE as a brand, but what I can tell you is they've been making some high-end systems for high-end cars for quite a while now. Yes, this might be their first rodeo in the domestic or Mustang market, but it certainly isn't their first time making exhaust systems. In fact, they've been making some stuff for German cars for nearly 30 years now, all of it very baller and all made right here in the USA. But let's break this thing down a little bit further, shall we? Starting with this H-pipe, we already talked about it a little bit, but it does feature the factory style neck down to work with your factory manifold pipes, or cat pipes I should say, in addition to an aftermarket set of long tube headers that do work with the factory style connection. Moving downstream, 3-inch mandrel-bent tubing throughout here. By the way guys, everything on the table premium grade 304 stainless steel. They do incorporate a couple bullet style resonators here before everything exits or enters the AWE Touring resonators. No, I didn't mess up. That's what they call these things. They don't refer to them as mufflers. So they move through the AWE Touring series mufflers loaded with that 180 tech that we already talked about before finally making their exit out of the 4-inch double wall chrome tips. By the way, you can grab these things in black for an extra 50 bucks if you'd like. But let's break down the price point here a little bit more at the AWE system because this is uncharted territory, I'm sure, for a lot of you guys watching, but here's what I can tell you. Touring catback with the chrome tips, you're looking at just north of 1,300 bucks, putting it right in line with some of the Cook stuff and also the boreless systems as well, just south of the Corsa territory in regards to overall price point. And again, what I can tell you, that price is certainly worth the cost of admission, guys. You're getting a premium build quality here, premium materials, and a great fitment, along with a blow pop with every kit. No, I'm not kidding, they actually throw one in, and it is kind of funny to point out. Switching gears, let's talk about the install a little bit more here with the AWE Touring system. And again, like I mentioned earlier, guys, 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, maybe an hour or two from start to finish to get your factory system removed and to get the new Touring system in place. Your first step is obviously removing that factory exhaust system. To do so, you can just basically grab a socket set again and remove those forwardmost clamps here, sliding them back, and then remove the 2 bolts securing the exhaust hangers to the rear subframe area. This is going to allow the entire system to drop. Just be careful though, it is all one piece, it is a little heavy, so if you have a buddy around the shop or garage, now would be a great time to grab them. Now once that factory system is out of the way, you can get to work installing the new AWE touring system in reverse order. Personally, I always like working from front to back. That means hanging your H-pipe first and securing it with those 2 clamps that you removed in the very first step. Once that is in place, you can get to work installing each side here of the tailpipe section. Save your final tighten up to the very end, because this way you can kind of position those tips exactly where you want them in their respective openings. Once everything is in place, simply tighten everything down and your installation is complete. Well, the possible list of catbacks that I would install on my S550 if I owned one just got a little bit longer, as I personally love everything about the touring system here from AWE. Loud enough to give the car some serious bark, but not loud enough to be heard 3 miles over. Factor in some quality materials and no drone, and you got a great combination. So guys, that is my review of the AWE Touring Catback, which you can grab right here at AmericanMuscle.com.